A travel agency says bookings for cruises have dropped by double digits along with cancellations due to coronavirus. House of Travel boss Brent Thomas says generally people are concerned about whether they can still get travel insurance that covers them for anything related to Covid-19. A number of major providers are advising travellers they won't insure them for virus-related losses if their policy was bought after certain dates in January. Mr Thomas says he's still travelling and there will be major discounts on travel due to the infection. But people need to decide for themselves whether they're prepared to take the risk based on ministry travel advice.
We've had a significant number of people coming into the stores and inquiring about it. We've had a few cancellations, perhaps not as many as people would expect, and we've certainly had a number of people who are delaying booking at this stage before they move forward.
So what kind of trips are people wanting to change?
So typically it is obviously going into Asia. So let's call it, so China's off, and there's certainly other parts of Southeast Asia where New Zealanders are coming in and asking to amend their travels. Obviously we've seen a slowdown in cruise bookings, but we do expect that there's going to be some fantastic deals because ultimately airlines, hoteliers, car rental companies, they've all got assets that they have to keep moving to create revenue. So there'll be some fantastic deals coming out for the New Zealand public, and there will be a significant number who still travel in 2020.
So when you say the cruise trips, there's a slowdown, how big is that slowdown?
We are seeing a significant double-digit slowdown in terms of passengers booking. However, it is such a long lead time, there's still the opportunity for people to reevaluate it, consider their risks, and still book to go on cruises, particularly given some of the pricing that is coming to market.
So double-digit slowdown, can you be a bit more specific? How big is the double digits?
I mean, it is material, so it is, significantly double-digit, but certainly not 50%.
What about cancellations in the cruise packages? How many of those are you seeing?
Yeah, we've certainly seen some more in cancellations in cruise than, say, other bookings, but obviously also to Asia as well, and particularly to China as the main destination that's been impacted. So what we are seeing is responses from the cruise companies where they are moving their ships down from Asia particularly into Australia, and we're obviously going to need to fill those, and therefore the cruise companies are likely to bring some fantastic pricing, which will stimulate demand, because that's ultimately what will happen from suppliers, whether it be airlines, hoteliers or cruise companies. They'll have fantastic pricing for the New Zealand public to stimulate that demand.
So what level of cancellation are you seeing for cruise packages?
Well, cancellation-wise, you'd be surprised it's still a lot less than 10%. So what I say is the cancellation numbers are in the single figures. The postponement or delaying of bookings is in the double digits, but certainly nowhere near like half. It is a manageable amount at this stage. What we are likely to see, though, is a lot of those people deferring their travel bookings at this stage to come back into the market once we know exactly how the coronavirus is going to play out, and then look to rebook to travel at some stage, whether that be late 2020 or into 2021 with the cruise companies.
The other thing is, though, does it really matter how cheap it is if you can't get any insurance and there's a possibility that you could encounter coronavirus?
I guess people will have to assess that risk at their own level as to whether they want to go or not. What we do know is that New Zealanders are very resilient travellers. We've been through things like SARS, we've had terrorism, etc. And the booking pattern, surprisingly, does jump back into normal patterns within about 6 weeks after the event. So at some stage, the coronavirus will run its course, and then the booking pattern will get back to normal, because New Zealanders still want to see the world, and they will still want to go and tick off things on their bucket list or go and visit friends and families around the world.